Well, Comair Alexa, I have some earth-altering news for us. This might affect my future as a mayor as we know it.
What is it?
Well, Comair Alexa, let's just say I've had a life-altering experience happen to me in my life, and I might have to step down as mayor for a while.
Oh God, I think I know what it is.
Shh. Don't you speak those words with the low lips of yours. Everything you need to know is in this box right here. Go ahead, Comair Alexa. Open the box.
I'm okay, but I think I get it. It's a girl. It's a girl. OMG, it's a girl.
Well, yeah, of course it's a girl. Well, actually it's the man, but theoretically a woman. Anyway, Comair Alexa, just look in that box.
Oh, I thought you were having a baby.
What? Come on, that's impossible. This is just the one women's wrestling figure of 2020 that I told the residents of LJV I wasn't going to get. The face scan to me just looked horrible. And honestly, I thought about stepping down as mayor because I don't want to ever lie to the residents of LJV.
Seriously? That's the whole reason?
Yeah, but you know what? Forget stepping down as mayor. I think the residents will forgive me for going against my word just this one time.
But why are you patting your stomach so much? And what's with the pink balloons?
Oh, my stomach? Yeah, I had 2 chili dogs last night and it is tearing me up, let me tell you. There's a hurricane coming through in my bowels, if you know what I'm saying. Oh! And I don't understand what you're saying about the pink balloons. Don't all Ringside Collectibles orders come with those?
Good Lord.
So this Becky comes with parts to switch out to make 2 looks, basically. Her pre-match WrestleMania 35 entrance look and her post-match look from that night as well. So we're going to do things a little differently, look at both looks in detail, starting with her entrance attire look, then switching parts out and finishing with her post-match look, holding the belts. But the first thing we're going to do is look at this box, because these Ultimate boxes are cool. Now obviously it's very big, and there's a lot of quality to it. We have this image of Becky on the side. Over here just says Becky Lynch. And on the back, this is pretty awesome. It has her entrance from WrestleMania 35. And then a figure simulated, almost fake photography of her post-match with the messy hair holding the belts. And then it's got a little bio of her. So these boxes are cool. Now that being said, let's bust it open and let's start with her entrance attire look. This figure's attire is from her WrestleMania 35 main event triple threat match versus Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, where she won the SmackDown and Raw women's titles. This was the first WrestleMania main event in history headlined by women, so this is a truly historical and monumental match and nice to have in figure form. The first look that we will be looking at is her pre-match entrance look, and this is made possible by adding her jacket arms, her jacket vest, and her braided hair sculpt. So let's start off by looking at, to me, the downfall of this figure, and it's the face scans. Now, this is the one she comes packaged with, and this is her entrance attire. So it has the braided hair sculpt, which is nice. The color's also nice, and it's really nice detail in the sculpt. The face, to me, actually looks better in person, but it still is missing something. Especially when you compare it to some of her other face scan releases, such as Basic 103 and Battle Pack 66. That's just to name a couple, because she's had a lot of figures released in this past year, and they all seemingly have had better face scans than her Ultimate, which to me is just baffling. So I really do think they missed the mark with this. But this is the better scan of the two, so if you do display this figure, I do suggest this scan. But to me, it's just a little off. But it's really not as bad in person. Moving on to her attire and her upper body. As you can see, this jacket is pretty cool, and it has a lot of molded, intricate detailing on it, which is very accurate to what she actually wore. And I do like that they added the additional sleeves to give her the jacket arm sleeve look. And then moving it around, she has the I Am the Man logo on the back of the jacket, and it's actually kind of molded. It's raised up a little bit, but again, I really like that pattern that they have going across the jacket and all the little molded details. That's definitely one of the positives of this figure. And we'll go to look at her ring attire after we take this off when we look at her post-match look. But for now, we'll move down to her lower extremity here. She has those shorts with, once again, has some of that elevated molding on the side. That little crisscross pattern, it's nice. Along with little black studs molded on. The pantyhose has really wide gaps, and even though she has worn the pantyhose that look like this is actually not accurate to that night. It should have been closer together and smaller. The knee pads are nicely detailed, again, with that molding, and also that yellow in color. And then her boots and her socks are very nice and very well detailed. Now, I've had her on a figure stand because that's something that I can't stand about the Ultimates is the feet, how loose they are. This toe joint's pretty tight, but her ankle's super loose, so it's really hard to stand her up. So now let's take a look at the second look that you can accomplish with this Becky Ultimate figure, and that's her post-match look. So to get this, you can switch the heads out and change it to the messy hair sculpt that she comes with. Also, removing that jacket vest and the jacket arms and replacing it with the tight sleeve arms and adding the SmackDown and Raw Women's titles accomplishes this look pretty well. So in my opinion, this is the worst part about this figure and the reason why it took me so long to buy this, and that's his alternate head. This face scan is terrible and looks nothing like Becky whatsoever. From all angles, it does not resemble her at all. I do like, to try to be positive, I do like the hair sculpt, how they included that messy hair that she had post-match when she's celebrating her Raw and SmackDown Women's titles. However, when it comes down to it, the face is the most important part of a figure in my opinion. And this face scan sucks. Now, the head that she comes with that has the braid on the side that resembles her entrance is okay and is better in person, but this face, this thing just sucks and there's no way around it. It looks nothing like her. Now, before we get into her ring attire a little closer, I just want to say that it is awesome. She does come with a Raw Women's Championship and a SmackDown Women's Championship, especially because she wins them that night, and it's such a historic thing. However, the attire, which is her post-match / ring attire, is what you'd want to display with her holding the belts up. And that's the face that sucks. So, displaying her with these belts, to me, it's not really an option. I'd rather put her in her braid and her jacket and display her ring entrance. So, that being said, it is nice to have these belts, especially the SmackDown Women's Championship, because honestly, up until today, I only had one, and it came with the Walgreens Becky Lynch. So, the fact that I got another is pretty awesome. So, yeah, I really like the inclusion of both the titles, but that being said, let's get into the attire. So, let's move on to the upper body of her ring and post-match attire. Now, I am super disappointed with this, and I'll show you why. It's great that this chest piece has a bunch of molded straps going across, real intricate. It looks awesome. However, I think it's just mine. It's not all of them, but mine has, at the very top and the bottom, horrible black paint splotches that aren't supposed to be there, and it should be flesh colored. So that really ruins that whole appearance. So it takes away all the intricate design of the mold when the paint application is sloppy, in my opinion. Now, something positive I did like, and I did notice, is the belly button issue is fixed on this figure. It's kind of been a mixed ball as far as these women's figures. Like, the WrestleMania 36 basic of Becky in this attire has that deep dimpled belly button where it looks like body paint on top. And this is exactly how it should be. It should be smooth over there. So I do like that. Also, I think this yellow line that is painted down the sleeve and also the shorts and the knee pad, it's applied very cleanly, and it does look really good. I also like the addition of these little molded studs. It's going to be hard to see. There we go, on the arms. So this upper body attire would be great, and it would be near perfect to me. But that black paint splotches, that just really takes away from it, and it looks sloppy. Now that being said, let's compare her to her WrestleMania 36 basic that is in the same attire. Alright, so why am I going to compare the WrestleMania 36 basic Becky Lynch to the Ultimate Edition Becky Lynch? You think it'd be a no-brainer in comparison, but here's the thing. The Ultimate on the right here is 3 times the price of this WrestleMania 36 basic, and in my opinion, it's not worth that. Now, we are going to focus on this attire and this attire alone, because I admit that I am going to display my Becky with that other head she comes with, that jacket and also those jacket arms. But if you're looking for a, ring gear or post-match Becky, I would go with this WrestleMania 36 basic. Because even though it does have some flaws, like that belly button body paint issue, not a whole lot of molding in the attire, there are some positives, like this mesh pattern is more accurate to that night. And also, compared to mine, that chest piece doesn't have any molding, but it's painted on very good and looks good from a distance. And the main reason why I would prefer this basic is because the face. I mean, look. It looks like two different women. This face scan is far superior on the WrestleMania 36 basic than it is the Ultimate. So I just wanted to do a comparison because that drives me wild how this Ultimate is 3 times the price, and when it comes down to it, this basics is a fine figure if you're looking for the ring gear or post-match. But like I said, I am going to display this Ultimate with that alternate head, the jacket arms, and the jacket vest. And here's one last look at Ultimate Edition Becky Lynch. Alright, so now it's time for the scoring. Now here's the thing, as y'all know, if anyone's watched these videos, is that I have a separate scale for basics, elites, and the few ultimates I've done have been on their own scale. So this Becky Lynch goes on that scale. And overall, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Now hear me out. Opening it up, the head sculpt that she comes with that displays her entrance, where she has the braid on the side, and also the jacket, the sleeves, and everything else, it looks fine. The face does look a lot better in person. But this is a $30+ figure, and it is not worth that. Because this could be an Elite Becky right here. But that extra head she comes with, the messy hair, is a horrible skin that looks nothing like her. And on top of that, having this extra articulation, I guess if you do fig photography you might like it, but to me it drives me nuts because it makes her extremely hard to stand up. She's on a display stand and still almost doesn't stand up. So this figure lies right in the middle to me, honestly. I think she's had so many figures and so many awesome ones that they could have really knocked this Ultimate out of the park, and all they had to do was have both scans be awesome, and they failed on that. So unfortunately, I give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, right in the in-between, because the jacket entrance look, it works just fine, but that's it. Just fine. Thanks for stopping by Lumberjovo. Women's wrestling lives here. Now, I just want to get this out there. Do I love Becky Lynch? I am a huge, huge fan of Becky Lynch and all she's done for women's wrestling and the development of the women's division. And that's why I was a little hard on this Ultimate figure, because they could have done a lot better. Now, that being said, make sure to hit like and subscribe and join the community. We have so many figure reviews coming up. All future women's figures I pre-order with overnight shipping to get y'all a first look. Also, the Treasure and I have a podcast dropping very soon. Stay tuned for details. Have a good night, y'all.